All right, what's happening, guys? Today's day two. So, just a quick update. First, I wanted to mention tools. I don't have a shop. I don't have a wood shop. I don't have a ton of tools. I have a table saw, which is an 8.5 inch table saw. So you can get them 7 1/4. The blades are way cheaper if you buy that one, but the table is so small that you don't have a lot of stability with it. So I went with the next one up, which was the 8.5. The blades cost a little bit more money, but having that extra table space uh, gives me better cuts. I get better finishes. When you buy lumber raw, you cannot expect that those raw pieces of lumber to be perfectly square on the ends. You wind up with something that looks like this or something that looks like this. And that's because the way the wood, when it dries, this wood was all kiln dried to, I think they said 12% moisture content, which is pretty low, but it's, I mean, it sounds like glass. It's like super dry. It's super hard. The bandsaw doesn't want to cut it at all. My piece of crap bandsaw doesn't want to cut it at all. My piece of crap bandsaw is a 24-inch bench top bandsaw. Don't waste your money. It was I think it was like maybe 150 bucks. I think I don't really remember, but for what I spent on it, I should have bought a scroll saw. A scroll saw would be much slower going, but I would be able to move pieces of wood through it and actually curve the wood. Like, I couldn't even get around this curve right here. I couldn't get around that curve with that piece of crap bandsaw I got without the blade popping out 20 times. It's all set up accurately. Uh, it's just a piece of crap. I should have got the scroll saw. But anyway, router is your number one best friend. So I use the router more than any other tool to shape a guitar. With this rough cut, I got the neck is still pretty rough on the back, but I stayed far enough away from the line that I can set up a sled on the router that follows that taper. And I will clean this up and get it just about perfect. And then I will put the fretboard on and cut these edges off of here, making the neck smaller and smaller and smaller, which means less and less and less wood left for me to shape. So I got show you guys what I was talking about. I also cut the back of the neck through. I cut it so that it was parallel with the body. So remember, the body comes all the way up to here on this guitar, but the fretboard comes all the way down to here. Now here's my back angle starting here. You see the angle where it starts to go back, and that's because instead of cutting the neck at a back angle, I cut the body at a back angle. Doesn't change anything. You're still left with a piece of wood that has this angle in it, no matter whether you cut this one or whether you cut this one. I just didn't want the open grain here. And plus, this was a much shorter cut, so a lot easier for me to make that cut and keep it accurate. But what I was talking about was, this is one of the wings here, and when these go on there, it's going to look something like that, right? So that's the additional shaping that I was talking about that's going to have to be done to these wings right here. When I cut the back parallel, I cut this to a thickness that's going to work out perfect for me, where I have a full 3/4 inch thick piece on the bottom and a full 3/4 inch thick piece on the top. my finished dimension is going to be 2¼ So instead of having a middle wing, I'm sorry, 2¼ Yeah, 2¼ not 2¾ the whole middle is not going to be a full wing. It's just going to be probably like maybe an 1.5 wide piece that follows this contour all the way around, and then the whole middle is empty. So it kind of gives it like an acoustic feel. It's going to keep it lighter, which this is already probably 4 pounds. I have an SG over there that weighs like 4.5 pounds finished. So this guy's pretty, I can see it getting heavy. So something to be conscious of. So when you look at that guitar, you see them online, they look like an acoustic guitar with a heel coming off of the neck, comes into the body, and then it comes down and has a heel. So because this is a neck through, there is no heel. But I wanted to maintain that look. So this is what I came up with. It's not, this is just a rough cut here. So I still got to cut. I still got to cut it here, both sides. But the reason for this shape right here is so that I can go like that with it. And when I shape this, the heel of this neck, it's going to look like it has a heel that's joined to the body. It's not going to look like a neck through. It's going to look like the neck has a tenon on it that's set into the body and a heel that butts up against the body. That's how it's going to look. There's a binding that I'm going to have to do some routering for. I will show you guys that process when we get there, but that's my progress for today. Remember, 2 hours of work, 1 hour of cleaning. It's the way it is. Peace.